Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Cutie, little cutie J, Green. How you doing? Let's make this widescreen. It's, why is this not? Why is this screen not? Should be. Okay, here we go. Nope, that's fine. That way I could see what I'm doing here. Let's close out all these windows. Nope, nope. Alright, hello. I'll be outside in a second. Give me 1 second. Okay, 1 second. You should be able to hear me. This is gonna be really cool. This is gonna be really cool. Hello, you should be able to hear me now. So, when I was little one time, we were in a car and there was a flat tire. We had all the children in the back seat, and we pulled over to the side of the road, and one of the children said, it was the devil that made the flat tire. And even at that age, I thought that thing. What the heck is this? I'm looking at a guy carrying a rope like he's gonna strangle somebody at any moment. Ugh. Fuck off. A little schizophrenic reality. Anyway, um, even at that young age, I didn't think that of the devil as anything more than a philosophical disembodied being. Not, I didn't think of the devil as like a scapegoat or anyone that would carry blame. Because when you get to the end of the book of the Bible, it says, everyone is just doing what God makes them do. That the people that go to heaven and the people that go to hell, it's all predetermined anyway. And only from the human perspective, speaking to other humans, do we struggle with the concept of predetermination. And much later, I was in Pentecostal churches, and they would say that they had the devil in this one place, and then they would yell at the character and cast the character out, etc. And someone that I knew said they didn't like that. Not that they didn't like casting out the devil or whatever, but like that the devil is this like highly powerful global deity that, as Paul says, that the devil is the god of this world. And if you have him in the room to cast him out of the whole earth, and let's move on with all the troubles of people, But now I'm seeing the utility of this, the devil did it, devil character. I don't like when people call other characters devil because it seems like very childish manipulation. The word Satan just means antagonist, and if you've ever played a game of chess with somebody that has a mental handicap, or if you've ever played a game against somebody that stood no chance against you, it's sad. It's sad. You don't even want to win or lose or play when somebody is completely incapable of having a chance. That's what we do with bullies. We show them the reality that they are punching down. But again, I'm starting to see the utility of this very simple way of processing things, contention. So, just to respond to the closest, sharpest blades, not to take a side, but just to respond first to the weapons that are closest and the most sharp near me on the liberal side of things. I recently watched a video of Brandon Herrera denying and betraying one of his own supposed fans. You know, we don't know if the second to last character, if anything on the news actually happens. We don't know if that person was actually trans or if any of that is real. We don't know. But the story is that the second to last trans shooter was trans, and that they wrote a journal that they call a manifesto in Cyrillic English. It was English language in Russian letters. And that the name of one of their YouTube heroes, Brandon Herrera, known for being alignment right, conservative right, that this supposedly radical liberal left person was a fan of this conservative right person and went to go see them at a convention or an event called SHOT Show. And Brandon Herrera dead names them and name calls them and others them, etc., providing no humanization. Now, when we see the liberals criticizing Trump for not bringing the country together, we're supposed to assume that they are baseless. But here's an opportunity for someone who, by his own phraseology, says that he has main character syndrome. Main character syndrome is not something that I respect as a way of thinking about individual responsibility or engagement in the world around you. However, he says of himself, Brandon Herrera, of himself says that he has main character syndrome, that he ran for some public office. He's not just a YouTube show guy. And I don't know if this person exists, this trans shooter. I don't know if they exist. I don't know if anything that I see on the TV or the news or the internet is real. But given the premise of the story, in this moment, the character of Brandon Herrera has an opportunity to bring America together and to be the brave, strong man that stands up for something. He doesn't. He just doesn't. Me standing out here doing this recording and putting it on the internet, if real life were real, would be more brave than everything he's ever done. And because I'm not a tribalist, emotionally out of control, manipulated. I'm remembering South Park. I don't know. I don't want to say the word sheep or goats. Maybe livestock. Because I'm not a crowd. When I watched his video, I got upset, disappointed, and I stopped watching because he says that in the trans shooters manifesto, really just a journal, that this character went to the convention to meet him and that he brushed them off or was unavailable. And he says he doesn't believe that happened. I don't know if it happened, but there's nothing more believable that a misanthroped, socially ostracized person would go within the lower 48 states, would go to an event within the lower 48 states in order to connect with one of their YouTube heroes. There's nothing more believable than that. I don't know if it happened, but there's no more of a believable story than that. And who is to blame? Right? That's why I brought up the issue of what are these characters doing? I'm looking at a human being that is pretending to make a decision while they are waiting for me to make their decision for them. That's what I am observing. So who's to blame, you know? How do you call Brandon Herrera a coward? Do you call the trans shooter a from nothing god person who is responsible for their own decisions with no accounting for coercion or duress? Well, you do, as background people, not me. You seem to be in a pre-resurrection his time where the only thing that you are going to do is to take all of your destructive energy as group bodies and place them onto one individual body and then get rid of that one individual body. The only thing that it looks like you're doing is LARPing live action role playing the New Testament. That all you want to do is run through the Jesus crucifixion thing over and over and over and over again. That's all you want to do. Now let's go to the other side of the alignment, the conservative right. Now, we did not go to the edge of the destruction of all reality. We did not go to the edge. We did not give space and enfranchise the most poisonous anti-reality, the most irrational, illogical, nonsensical philosophies of equality, right up into the edge of the destruction of reality. We didn't go almost to the point of the death of all society. We went past that point. We went 2.5 years past the point of enfranchising just the most destructive anti-reality philosophies. We didn't go to the edge. We went past the edge. So that when I was a teenager and they said to me that gender is a social construct, my response was, well, if gender is a social construct, all the more responsibility that we have to hold up the construct that continues to generate biodiversity. Because it is only through the battle of the sexes and the contention of competitive procreational activity that we are able to generate biodiversity, a incredibly necessary resource, as everyone who's gone to public school and who was not a bio-robot running the Bible-like software. By the way, you're not supposed to run the Bible like software. You're supposed to believe it and doubt it and hope that you believe it, and while you believe it, you think that you doubt it. It's not supposed to work. You're supposed to be a part of a community of failures, of people who know that they are in a religion of relax and stop being legalistic, and that they are failing at relaxing, and that they are failing at not being legalistic, and that they're trying to cope together. Hey, how are you doing? Not being a legalistic person. Oh, I'm doing my best, but I'm still legalistic sometimes. Most times, in fact. Yeah, me too. I'm supposed to be dynamic and risk-taking and visionary, but mostly I just want to follow traditions and be tribalistic. Yeah, me too. And that's how you're supposed to live. How do you think that the first world and Europe and running water and electricity and peerhood and the illusion of peerhood and family and a general amount of peace and brotherhood and sports, how do you think all that this all exists? So that's it. I'm upset because I'm upset for two reasons. Let me do four, so I can give each side two reasons why I'm upset with them. So I'm upset with the radical liberals for two reasons. Only one I know of right now, and I'm upset with the conservative uh, the conservative whatever they don't Republicans. I'm concerned with both two reasons, and I only know one. So I'm concerned. I'm upset with the right because um, Brandon Herrera had an opportunity to. One second. One second. Well, no, wait. Somebody would like to growl at me because they have a snout. I'm sorry. You could be the nicest person in the world, but if your face looks like it was designed so that your head can turn right and bite somebody's esophagus, that's not a character. I'm not telling you that you're a bad person, but if you take that facial expression and then go into the stereotype of behavior, yes, I'm going to call you out that you are growling at me. Okay. So I'm upset with the conservative right because Brandon Herrera had an opportunity to bridge and to bring America together on the flat surface of my screen, and he instead acted like a coward who knows how to be unapproachable and without accountability because he's protected and guarded from any kind of accountability. So he had an opportunity to open his doors and to invite community, and he did not. And likewise, I'm upset at the radical liberals because they are too evolved, man. They have evolved past the need for society. I don't know what anyone is doing in society these days. They don't socialize. Tim Dillon said that if you were celebrating this thing happening, that he can't get into your head. And I was listening to him say that, and I was like, well, yeah, people that are like that, they are so evolved in Logan's Run, everybody versus everybody, that they don't want you in their head. They laugh at you for thinking that there's such a thing as society. So I was supposed to have four. I guess I could say that I'm upset with the radical left for abandoning all of the achievements that American mainstream culture, pop culture, had reached. Like Tenoch Huerta being cast as Namor. I find that to be a tremendous achievement for America. And so that's two on the liberal side. And now on the conservative side, I would say I guess I'm upset at the conservative right for not enfranchising me as what supposedly is a conservative person and my own artistic endeavors, since the only people in my environment who are showing you what they are doing for a living are artists. Everyone else is participating in human trafficking. You ask anybody else what they do for a living, and they say that they are either selling unregulated medicines to children or participating in human trafficking. They say that they are hustling. And I take the sword that comes out of their mouth, they go shh, I go shh, back in. Hashtag get me a production team.